I want to manipulate this new box to be the roof of my house. So again, from the modify panel on the right hand side, I'm going to call it my roof. And the modifier that I'm going to apply to this model is called an edit poly modifier. Now this modifier allows me to have access to a lot of the construction elements or construction components of the 3D model. I want to start by selecting the polygons, which are the surfaces of the 3D model. I'm going to take the top surface and use the scale tool to scale it so that it becomes very, very long and narrow. Now I can do this from the top view because I can see exactly how I want it to become. So I'm going to highlight the vertical y-axis here and narrow that right down till it's almost just a tiny thin line. And I'm also going to do it on the x-axis just so that it gives me that, again, that sort of tapered roof line. I now want to switch from the polygon selection, so that top surface, to the vertex, which are the points that make up these three-dimensional shapes. I want to select the vertices that are at the top of the roof here, where that surface was. Now there are currently 4 vertices sitting there. There was one on each corner, but they've been drawn together very, very closely. And what I can do with those is, in the modify panel, I can go down to edit vertices on the right hand side, and I can choose weld. Now it's a good idea to, when welding and when conducting some other properties in edit poly, to have a look at the settings dialog box. And you can see that we have a weld threshold and we have a report about how many vertices are involved. It's telling me that there are 8 vertices involved. That's how many are in the box, 1 on each corner. So before and after, there are 8 vertices. But I need that to be 8 before and 6 after. I want to weld the 2 vertices here and the 2 vertices here. So I need to increase the threshold. So I'm going to set that up to about 1 and see if that then yields a better result. And you can see by setting that value, the weld threshold, I now have before 8 vertices, after 6. So I tick that, and I've now reduced the complexity of that model. So there's now only 1 vertex on that corner and 1 vertex on that corner. I've removed 2 unwanted vertices from the model. The next thing I'm going to do is add a chimney. So again, create tab on the right hand side, the first tab, and again, create a box and click and drag to establish a small squarish box with a little height, and position that towards the top of the model. And I want this to stick out the side of the house, or stick out the side of the roof. So I want to make sure that it's positioned nicely on the roof, and I'm going to use the rotate tool to lean it over and just poke it in so it sort of sits inside the roof, so it makes a nice little join.